It's been a very chaotic reading year so far. Let's get into it. Hi everyone, I'm Lauren. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I talk about books and all things bookish. And today I'm going to be looking at my mid-year reading check-in. I'm going to be talking about some of the books that I've read, the ones that I've loved, the ones that have surprised me, and also the ones that I haven't actually got around to reading yet. I think this will be really interesting to look back on later on in the year to see how my reading tastes have shifted throughout the year. So yeah, let's get into it. So far this year I've read 23 books, and I'm not one of these people who read hundreds and hundreds of books every year. I mean, my goal this year on Goodreads was 25, and I put it up by one every year. Now, I do seem to exceed it every year, which is fantastic, but I like to make sure that I'm definitely going to hit the goal. So yeah, I've read 23 books, and my reading's been a bit all over the place, to be honest. I've had some really, really good months where I've read a lot, and I've had some months where it's just been so slow and really stretched out, and I've hardly read anything at all. So I'll share the books I've loved, the ones I've been disappointed by, and a surprise read as well. I'll also pop the full list of the 23 books I've read this year in the caption and the description so that you can see everything, because I'm not going to go into them all in this video. So one of my favourite reads this year so far has been Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J. Maas. And, of course it has. It's an absolutely fantastic book. I am so sad that the series has ended. I haven't actually written a review for it yet, but I loved it so much. It was such an emotional read for me. I don't ever cry at books, but I cried at least 3 times throughout Kingdom of Ash. It really, really tugged at my heartstrings, but I loved it so much. Fenris especially, I'm looking at you. The Blinking, if you've not read this yet, when you have read it and you've seen the Blinking bit, come back and we can talk, because it deserves to be spoken about. Oh my gosh. Oh, my heart honestly couldn't take it. I loved it so much. If I could clear out my brain and start a series again from scratch, it would be Throne of Glass. I absolutely loved the whole series. So yeah, that's been my favourite so far. So another book that I absolutely loved this year is Annie Knows Everything by Rachel Wood. This was one of my most anticipated reads of the year. When this was announced, I cannot tell you how excited I was, and it did not disappoint. I absolutely loved it. I devoured it in a day. Like, that's how much I loved it. It was so addictive, laugh out loud funny, just an all-round joy to read this book. Annie as a character was so relatable, from her chaotic work life to trying to figure out life, just felt really realistic. It was really brilliant. And it's one of those books that's really light, really funny, but also has the very real undertone of what am I doing with my life? And yeah, I just thought it was really enjoyable. And I mean, look at the cover. How cool is that? Look at the little dinosaur. So cool. And actually, the reason I was really excited to read this book was because the author, Rachel Wood, actually owns Rarebird's bookshop in Edinburgh, which is a local bookshop to me, so I was so happy to be able to support her and support her shop by reading this. So yeah, genuinely, I can't believe that this is a debut book. It is written with such confidence. It is so well written, and yeah, I can't wait to see what Rachel Wood writes next, because whatever it is, I'll definitely be buying it. Another book I really enjoyed this year so far is You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight by Kaylin Bayron. Bayron or Byron? Again, I'm so sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. But yeah, I absolutely loved this one. I am a huge fan of slasher movies, slasher books, so I really enjoyed this one. It's not going to be for everyone. It is very stereotypical, and it reminds me of Friday the 13th, the movie, a lot. It really draws parallels with that, but I actually didn't see the twists and turns coming in this book, and the ending completely blew my mind. I did not expect that at all. And yeah, it's a really quick read. It's really short. I think it's only like 230 pages or something. And yeah, it's absolutely perfect for summer ween. So ideal for if you want to add this to your summer TBR. So there's definitely been a few books this year that just didn't quite land for me, and one of these books was You Weren't Meant to Be Human by Andrew Joseph White. This was one of the Evernight picks, so I got this in my Evernight horror subscription, and I really, really wanted to love it, knowing that it was the author's first venture into adult horror. I know that they had written young adult horror before, but this was their first venture into adult, and it just didn't land for me, unfortunately. It just didn't work on so many levels. The writing style was quite over explanatory, and it felt like everything was spelled out for you rather than left for the reader to interpret, and I found it really hard to get immersed in the story. There is a bit there's like a character, a thing in it called the Hive, and I just feel like it was a really interesting premise, but it wasn't explored at all. So it was really unsatisfying. Like, there's this thing called the Hive, but you know absolutely nothing about it, and I just felt like, it just didn't add anything to the story. If you took that out, you know, what difference is it going to make? And yeah, there were some disturbing elements in it, but I didn't personally find it effective as a horror book. It just felt to me more like it was shock value, and there was no tension, there was no atmosphere. It completely relied on shock value, and I just don't think that's what horror's about. So yeah, this one just wasn't for me. So another book that didn't quite land for me was The Between Worlds B&B by Amy Mae Baxter. This is it here. I don't have it to hand anymore. I sold it because I didn't enjoy it. I'll be honest, I pre-ordered it based solely on the cover because look at it, it's absolutely gorgeous. But to me, it felt really quite young YA. I knew going into it was YA, but to me, it felt really, really young. And I just think I've outgrown the audience a little bit. That being said, I could see me loving that book when, younger me would definitely have loved it, and it's definitely doing the right things for the right audience, and I'm just not the audience for it. So yeah, I didn't really click with that one. I mean, I did enjoy the setting. The inn was really warm, it was really magical, it was really cozy, and that was my favourite part of the story. But yeah, definitely for a younger audience. So the final book that I didn't really connect with this year is Cornish Clouds and Silver Lining Skies by Ali McNamara. This one is such a beautiful setting. It's set in Cornwall. I absolutely love books set in Cornwall. Cornwall is one of my favourite places. We go there every year on holiday, and there's just something so magical about the coastline, but sadly this book just didn't hit the mark for me. The island in it, the fictional island in it called Aurora, it really stood out and had me picturing St Michael's Mount, which is a real place in Cornwall, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, some of the characters, I really enjoyed Sonny Samuels as a character. His development was really lovely. I loved the way that he grew throughout the book, but I did struggle with the main character, Sky. She was very difficult to connect with, I found, and I didn't like the way that she interacted or treated other characters in the book. That being said, I do think the representation of ME and dyslexia was handled really, really thoughtfully throughout the book, and I really appreciated that, and I think other people with disabilities would really appreciate that. So yeah, overall it's not a standout for me, but I do still enjoy this author and I buy all of her books, but this one just wasn't my favourite. So one book I read this year that I really didn't expect to love as much as I did is Prince Weaver by Ellie and J. Morgan. This, what a stunning debut, honestly. It starts really quite slowly with the world building, but it is so worth it in the end, and I really recommend reading it and sticking with it. It's absolutely beautiful. I loved it. It's beautiful, honestly. I fully didn't expect to love it as much as I did. I really did fall in love. So forgive me if I pronounce the names wrong because the names are Welsh and I'm Scottish and I don't know Welsh. So Mailer and Oisin, I think. and that's the two main characters. I just adored both of them. The slow burn between the two was genuinely painful, but in the best way possible, and I was completely hooked the whole time. And the ending, I'm not okay with that ending. You genuinely need to have tissues ready, honestly. This book is just so beautiful. Yeah, get the tissues ready, definitely read it. I really loved the Welsh folklore in it actually, and the history is woven throughout it, which is really cool. Took me a little while to get my head around some of it and to try and pronounce some of the words, so I think I just made up the pronunciations in my head, which I know isn't great. I wish I could speak the words, but I can't. So yeah, the characters in my head might sound different to what they are in real life. Yeah, I was just really invested in this book. The side characters were all amazing. Pedder, it's spelled Pedr, so I'm going to say Pedder. They had my heart. What a beautiful character. And yeah, this book has everything: forbidden magic, court intrigue, mystery, romance, and I genuinely can't believe it's a debut. And I'm also really glad to have found out that it's a trilogy and I need book two immediately. Like, I cannot wait to see what's next. So, yeah, absolutely read this one. It's fantastic. So, going back to the beginning of the year, I had some really ambitious plans and I just haven't got around to reading half the books I wanted to read. So, there's a few books that I feel like I should have read by now, and I'm really hoping to get them read by the end of the year, but we'll see how it goes. So let me show you the books. The first book I was hoping to have read by now is The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. I've heard so many good things about this book, and I am dying to read it, and I'm really genuinely disappointed in myself for not reading it already, but it's definitely on the list, and I really can't wait to get to it. The next one I was hoping to have read by now is Belladonna by Adeline Grace. Again, I'm really disappointed I haven't read it yet because I know all the other books are out. I've got Foxglove and Wisteria sat on the shelf, so I'm waiting to read those, and I'm waiting on the paperback of Holly coming out so that I can get that, but I know I really need to get this read first, and I hope I enjoy it, or I've just wasted money on the whole series for no reason. So yeah, hopefully get to it by the end of the year. And the final books that I was hoping to have read by now are Crescent City by Sarah J Maas. I was really, really late to the Sarah J Maas universe. I only recently read ACOTAR and then went on to read Throne of Glass. So yeah, I really want to read Crescent City because I know it's all woven together, but I'm a bit scared to read it, to be honest, because I've heard it's really different to the other two series and I don't know how I'm going to feel about it. I think I'll enjoy it, but yeah, I'm just a wee bit worried to start it because I feel like this is a really big commitment and there's still another book or two to come. So yeah, we'll see if I can get it done by the end of the year. So that was my mid-year reading wrap. I think for the rest of the year, I really want to just make a dent on the books that I've got at home, and I'm trying my hardest to put myself on a book buying ban, but I've got subscriptions, so subscriptions are constantly coming through. I try my hardest not to buy books from the shop, but I'm not very good at it. So yeah, I'm hoping to read what's on the shelves to make space for new reads, but it doesn't always go to plan, does it? We'll see. We'll see what happens. Hopefully I can make a dent in what I've already got, and at the end of the year, let's see where we are. So guys, I would love to know how your reading year is going so far. Have you stuck to your TBR or have you completely abandoned it like what I have? Please do let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you. And if you've read any of the books that I haven't yet, let me know what ones I should prioritise because I really don't know where to start, to be honest. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video and you enjoy book reviews and all things bookish, please do consider subscribing to the channel. I would love to have you here and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!